going on, guys? Alex here with 814 EDC. And today I'm ready to do my full review on quite possibly the best Vosteed I've ever handled. Not a hot take. The Vosteed Dachshund. Now this is in via the Lefty passaround group. It is a little combo pack. You get the Dachshund and then you have the crossbar lock aluminum raccoon, which is also a fantastic knife. You guys will probably see this full review tomorrow. I'm filming this on Wednesday. So happy Wednesday to you guys. Half the week's over. 2 more days to go to the weekend, guys, if we can do it. And yeah, I'm ready to do my full review on this. I am going to miss this knife, guys. I really am. This is not just my favorite Vosteed I've ever handled. It might be one of my favorite knives I've ever handled. It is so good. It's going to leave a little hole in my heart when we leave, or when it leaves me. And I'm really considering picking one of these up, excuse me, because it's that good. And it's just, I feel like everyone who has handled the Dachshund has, has the same thoughts and the same feelings as I do. And it's really refined, and it's just impressive what Vosteed, can do when they started out with kind of a budget brand, and they still have really good $70 knives just like this one. But when you get up around $225-ish, where this one lives, you can just get into some really nice stuff. And this crossbar lock is just chef's kiss. It's probably the best crossbar lock variation I've ever handled, just with the detent and strength of no play and things like that. So I'm excited for this review. This might be my first perfect knife. I think it might be. It's going to be very close. I can't see too many things where I'm not going to give it a 5. So I think it might be my first perfect knife. Yeah, without further ado, we're going to get right into materials. And fun fact, I think in my unboxing, I called this the Dachshund. And then later that night, I was flicking on the couch, and something I like to do with my wife whenever I get new knives in is I always show it to her. I'm like, what would you call this? Because she always says funny names for it and things of that nature. And she was like, well, what's the real name for it? After she gave me, I forget what her name was for it, but she's like, what's the real name of it? And I said, Dachshund. And she's like, do you mean Dachshund? So that makes a little bit more sense. So thank you to my wife for clearing that up for me. But yeah, give a few specs on the Dachshund here real quick. There are 2 different variations of it. There's this version right here, and then there is a full tie version, just plain tie, which also looks really good. I will leave a link to the page on Vosteed's website down below. I looked on White Mountain Knives, but they're sold out. So unfortunately, Vosteed will be the place to get them. But without further, no shame in that, because Vosteed has a 10% off discount that's automatically applied when you add the Dachshund to the checkout. So that's pretty cool. So you're getting about the same price you would pay on White Mountain Knives, maybe a little bit more, but pretty similar. So that'll be linked in the description down below. But right off the bat, you guys can see that this is a full titanium construction with this really cool, it's like a darkened stone wash. I think it looks really good with that pop of color on the bronze thumb stud right there. Of course, this is I think they're calling this a reverse tanto, but it's pretty much a Warncliffe style blade. Just a beautiful edge, comes down to a nice point right there. Of course, you have crossbar style lock, or crossbar lock, I think they're just going to call it. Reversible filler tab for the clip. A beautiful mill titanium pot clip that works very well. I'm a big fan of this clip. It's pretty deep carry for what it is. And of course, you do have a little bit of the knife sticking out of the top there, so but not too much, which is really nice. As for internal milling, there are 2 big pockets on both sides. It's very lightweight, goes in a pocket very easily, carries very easily. But you have 2 back spacers right there. You also do have a front flipper, which works very well as well. Nice size. So blade length is coming in at 3.25 inches, overall length of 7.77 inches, blade width of 1.02 inches, blade thickness of 0.118 inches. Of course, it's M390, which I think I forgot to mention, but Vosteed right there, and then M390 right there. It's a black stone wash on the blade finish, and it pretty much is a black, they're just calling it black titanium, but it's pretty stone washed and stuff through there, so I really like that. Where's the weight on here? Comes in at 3.42 ounces, so sub 3.5 ounces, which is very, very good for a full titanium. 3.25 inches is, a medium-sized knife. So I think that weight is very nice and it carries very well. So I got to go 5 out of 5 on the very first category of materials. You're getting nice titanium, nice milled clip, front flipper, thumb studs, crossbar lock with a really, really good detent. Everything put together, I can't complain. So it's getting a 5. Next up is the aesthetic. I think this knife looks so sinister and wicked and just beautiful. To me, it just flows really nice. Pretty much a straight line here, and then you have a drop to the point, or excuse me, to the tip. Pretty much a straight line back here. You have a few little indentations and then a bigger one here. But it's a very clean design. It looks very good. I think the pot clip looks really good. The all black looks fantastic. I really do like the all plain titanium version, though. I don't know if I were to buy one of these, which one I would get, but I've really enjoyed this full black titanium. It just flows together. It looks really good closed too, in my opinion, with just a little flipper tab sticking out of the top there. The blade sort of sits in the handle, 100%. So I got to give it a 5 out of 5 on that one as well. Like I said, guys, this might be my first perfect review since I started doing my new review system. I think it might be. But next up is action. Guys, the action on this is really good. It's arguably, I don't think it's a hot take. I think this is the best action I have ever handled on a crossbar lock knife, just because you guys know with crossbar locks, you have the springs, and Kaiser has made a adjustment to that and come out with the clutch lock to where you can visibly and physically adjust to like 3 or 4 different holes underneath the scale to make the spring tension better, giving it a better detent. But in years past, and primarily Benchmade, because they had the access style or the access lock patent for so long, and it just ended probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, somewhere in that range. And that allowed companies to start making their own versions of it. And they have blown Benchmade out of the water. And I think Vosteed here has a fantastic design with whatever they're doing with their crossbar lock. The Raccoon has it really good as well. But this is just, like I said in the beginning, really refined. The detent is, you guys can hear it snapping back into place. It's just so well. Thumb studs has a really good location. Thumb flick works really well. Middle finger flick is just the bee's knees. You can index finger flick. I have fidgeted with this so much since I got it in, probably 3 weeks ago or so. And one thing that has really impressed me is this blade play. It has been locked up tighter than a bank vault since I got this knife, and I have flicked it probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of times. This has gotten a lot of pocket time and just a lot of fidget time sitting around watching TV, editing videos, doing things, going on walks, riding in the car, things of that nature. This thing has gotten a lot of fidget time, and there's no blade play. It is still locked up so tight, and it's also a pass-around knife. So, you're getting a lot of flickability, a lot of fidgetability out of that, and that just really impressed me. But yeah, thumb flick works really well. Middle finger flick is just really good. You can, of course, slow roll it, which works just fine. Front flipper works really good. You have enough leverage right there to where you're, it's not like it's rounded off or it comes right up to the corner, then like juts this way real quick. You do a nice little edge right there. You just kind of land right up on top, pops it out very well. And then, of course, on the close, just pull that down and it just drops shut. One cool thing with the access style lock or crossbar lock, you can find that sweet spot to where it's going to land and you let go. So it kind of sucks itself in, because if not, if I just hold it down, I did it that time. Guess sometimes if you hold it down the whole way, it'll come down and then hit and then bounce out and be stuck like this. But because sometimes you have to, and those who have handled, crossbar locks, know that what I'm talking about. But this one works really well. Just drop shut. It's on bearings, and again, no blade play. So action is getting a 5 out of 5. And I love when detents are fantastic for the thumb flick, fantastic for the middle finger flick, and fantastic for the front flip. And that is evident with all these different opening mechanisms. But next up is acoustics. And I think this thing sounds fantastic. And I wasn't the only one. I've seen on different reviews and things like that. People talk about this before too. But I sent a video in our group chat, fellow YouTubers, and I just was saying how much I really enjoyed this knife. And it was me, flicking it open, things of that nature. And a couple guys in the group chat was like, man, the acoustics on that are really, really good. I think one was Mike over at Sharpened Blade. So shout out to Mike. But just snappy. I think it's really good. Just gives a nice ting, good sound on the open, on the close. Wax open. I really enjoy it. For what it's coming from, easy 5 for me. Really is an easy 5. Next up is Ergos. Going to be another easy 5. This. Am I behind on any? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Like I said earlier, the overall design of this just flow so well together. You pretty much a straight line from here back to here. No humps, no grooves, nothing like that. And you have a decent sized groove here, but it's pretty flat and pretty neutral from here to the tip of the knife. You have jumping up top here, which is evident for the front flipper, but choked. I mean, you can kind of say this is choked back because you do have a little landing choil up here, but choked back, my pointer finger goes into this nice natural restriction point right here. My other finger lives in this groove too. My other 2 fingers follow suit. I have, I can easily get 4 fingers on this knife, have quite a bit of handle sticking out the back. My thumb lands right on the jimping, or it can land up top here if you're doing some tough push cuts. But this is so comfortable. The titanium is nicely rounded and it's contoured in the areas where it needs to be contoured. Just feels really, really good in the hand. Yeah, I mean, saber grip, hammer grip, reverse hammer grip. This works really good for, with that reverse Tonto / Wharncliffe blade for slicing if you have to use this in a self-defense manner, or if you're trying to fight Kevin over a Slurpee at 7-Eleven on a Saturday night. Little Chandler Bing for you guys. But yeah, just comfortable. Then you can use this choil here where your pointer finger lands right here. Your middle finger and your ring finger follow into that groove, and then your pinky hangs out back here. And then you have plenty of room. Really good for push cutting through cardboard where you need a little bit more thumb strength, a little bit more control. Pinch grip works really good, especially with this blade shape. You just drop the point down into cutting your own labels, ripping open Amazon packages, cutting box or tape on boxes, opening mail, things of that nature. This thing works really good, and I just love the Wharncliffe style blade. It's a nice thin edge with a thin blade, so it's very slicey. Great for EDC tasks, great for cutting tasks, things of that nature. You have the reversible clip, which is really nice, which of course is kind of a given with the ambidextrous way of opening the knife. But the pot clip sits pretty flush to the scales, so even when I'm choked back, I can't even feel it at all. It's not causing a hot spot, nothing like that. So I got to give it another 5, guys. Yeah. Carry, it's going to be another 5. Like I said earlier, I love this pot clip, and you guys know I tend to prefer a deep carry clip to where it goes, it's disappearing into your pocket, but I just really like the way this thing looks, and it functions great. You have a nice little ramp right there. It pops over your pocket, and you have about this much sticking out, which is not a big deal at all. It functions well. It looks really good. I like the way it's kind of skinnier down here, and it gets a little bit fatter. It carries deep in your pocket. Like I said about that, you have no flipper tab or anything, no jimping to risk catching on with your hand when you're down in your pocket for change, chapstick, things of that nature. I've said things of that nature like 7 times in this video, so I apologize to you guys, but it's just really good. It carries super well. Like I said, I have carried the living crap out of this thing in jeans, when I'm out of the house, sweatpants, when I'm in the house, shorts, I'm in the house. Whatever thing I throw it in, it carries well. Even when I'm just throwing it in my pocket with shorts, I can barely tell it's there. So again, another easy 5. I think this is going to do it, guys. I think this is going to be my first perfect knife, which is very, very exciting. I was really curious which one was going to come in and take that first perfect score, on the scoreboard. Because then I talk about price and value and want to recommend this knife to you guys. So on Vosteed's website, this knife is coming in at $229. But like I said, if you guys, add it to your cart, you automatically get a 10% off discount code. If you can find it in stock at White Mountain Knives, if you go on there, whitemountainKnives.com, search Vosteed Dachshund, and, hit notify me whenever it goes in stock. They are $209 there, I think, and then you can use someone's discount code to get it even cheaper. So then you're talking like $185. But I just wanted to give you guys the most, the most updated thing with in stock knives. And it's nice that they're giving you that 10% off code, because I think that takes it down to like $205 or something like that. So you're still getting close to $200 for it. And I think that's, for Vosteed, I think a lot of people kind of not necessarily scoff at that idea, because the only other expensive Vosteed like this, I think, has been the forget what the name of it is, but it has like the compression lock button thing on top that they did a little while ago. And I think this is the only other version that they've had of a $200+ knife. But I think it's so, again, refined is what I'm gonna try to put that in my title. It's just refined. It's smooth. It's snappy. It's great. In hand. The blade is just fantastic. Such a good cutter. So I have to give it another 5, guys, and that's, I don't even have to do any math. That's at the 35 out of 35. That is my first, perfect knife on the Alex scale, and I think it's well deserved. When I look back, my year in review, and I go over this list, this is going to be talked about, at the end of the year when I do my Knife of the Year videos. And technically, I know this didn't come out in 2024, but I'm just doing it for the knives that I reviewed. And this is a fantastic offering from Vosteed. My favorite version of any knife that they've done, my favorite design that they've done. I think the designer is you, who just did a fantastic job with the design. Like I said, I'm going to miss this knife. I can't talk right now. I'm going to miss this knife a lot when it's out of here. So I'm going to, I think I might have to go snag one of these, or maybe on the secondary, try to find one for cheaper, but, or a good deal on one. But it's that good, guys. It really is that good. Yeah. When I first started handling this for a few days, I was thinking to myself, this might be the first one. And now I'm glad that after I've talked it out and, giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on it, I'm glad that it is my first perfect knife on the channel here in 2024. But I'm going to wrap this up now because I've taken it up enough of your guys' time. But this was my full review on the Vosteed, I almost said raccoon, Vosteed Dachshund. My favorite Vosteed, one of my favorite knives I've handled in a long time. Leave a comment down below. Did you guys pick up one of these? If you haven't, are you planning to? Because if you haven't, I think you should. I think everyone should handle one of these. And I think everyone should have, at least 1 or 2 crossbar lock knives in their collection. And I think this would be a damn good one for yours. So yeah, but I'm going to wrap this up now. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your morning, evening, night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.